Hi everyone, Holly from Safe for Kids here. I'm with an amazing lady that I reached out to, Ambreen Abbasi, I hope I got that right, who shared the interview that I did with young Smith last week. She shared it in Pakistan, so I reached out to her after reading all the amazing things on her Facebook page that she's doing. So I thought I'd reach out and um, give everybody an insight to what it's like in Pakistan around child abuse and kids seeing pornography. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So first of all, how did you get into this sort of work?
Okay, so yeah, I had a bad experience in my marriage, and I didn't know how to cope with that because, and so when I started reading about it, and Alhamdulillah, then Sarwile came to Pakistan, and I started reading about him and went to his conferences and started following him, and I thought, yes, this is there. And then my student, one of my student where I teach, reached out to me, okay, I'm watching this, I don't want to watch it anymore, but I don't know how to quit. So then I said, okay, this is the need of the time. Then if one student is there, it means there must be others as well. So I have a degree in Islamic psychology, and then I got my certification from Aware Academy under Weil Ibrahim for certified porn addiction counselor and awareness representative in Pakistan.
Yeah, the work that Awahil's doing is amazing, and his story is fascinating. You know, he had a similar experience with a child, 17-year-old, coming to him saying that he was going to end his life because of porn addiction. So, what I want people to understand is it doesn't discriminate. It goes across all cultures, all religions, and being able to talk with you and hear your stories, I'm hoping will enlighten, other people, because you counsel women and young women as well.
Yes.
Um, so tell us about, what you're hearing from young women.
Well, in the age bracket of the teenagers from 10 to 20 and 21, the young adults, the problem starts with peer, mostly it starts with peer pressuring. And they conform to it, get bullied and they get called names. Oh, so you don't see, so you are very righteous. Oh, you're not allowed by your parents, basically, so you have to be very suppressed, right? So the girls, like, rebel against this and they no, we can watch, I can do anything, I'm my own boss. And they get into this. And the second thing is they get pressured by their so-called male friends, that you have to watch this, and they get sucked into that. And mostly the prevalence of this issue is through peer pressure. The second issue starts when they, like, they are curious, teenagers are curious, and the hypersexuality being portrayed on the media, everything is open to everyone and anyone. And just it's free access, you can just download torrents on the spot. I mean, the adult series that ended 2 years 1 year back, the name escapes me right now, but it was like pure pornography, the dragons and everything in that. And that series, the episode aired, and
Oh, Game
within
of Thrones.
yeah, the you know the episode aired, and within 15 minutes you can download like that. No check, no balance, nothing. So people watch this, young kids watch that, and what kind of stories were there in it, right?
Yes.
Reading about it gets addicted, but visualized pictures of that thing, how can the teenagers process it? They're going through puberty, they have hormone, they're on the rampage, they don't know what to do, what not to do, and the parents don't know this, what the child is watching, what a child is getting exposed to, what a child is reading. And everything is just like, handed over to them. It's overwhelming. The information out there is overwhelming.
So when we were chatting offline, you were mentioning that, and it's something that I've not really talked about much, but you were mentioning that there are lots of uh, pornographic books that children can download for free. And I haven't, to be honest, Australian kids must be lazy because kids are just watching it, they're not reading about it, in my experience. But can you tell us a bit more about that? Because I think people would find that really fascinating.
Well, it's called the smut. It's sexualized material, and it's highly in, like, there are series of upon series about it, and there are genres, and not just like genres about, like, there's fiction, there's there's a website called ebook hunter. You can just download any and every series from there.
Wow.
Yeah, and for free, no charges at all.
Yeah.
And books are there. There's, they're very, very adult books. They are totally pornographic books. And you can see the genres are like, when I started reading the genres, they're like the motorcycle clubs, and then there were the adult sex clubs, master and submission, and these kind of genres. And I was like, the half of the things that flew through my head, what does that even mean? you know and then when you go into, like, if you select for example, motorcycle club, I didn't even understand what motorcycle club meant. And even then there are like genres in there as well, like female based, male based, and then there was homosexuality. And I was like, everything is just given to them. And the books were like 100 pages, 200, 250, 650 pages, and for free you can read them. And the explicitity in the books, the bad foul language and everything, the objectivity of a woman, how the woman is described, oh my god. And free for free. And you can even go into their Facebook uh, groups for those books as well. You go there and then you can act out, as in role play.
Wow.
And they're like, in that community, the books group are also mentioned that if you want to role play these kind of scenes, you can come to this page and do that. And I was like, how? What to do now?
Wow. See, this hasn't even been on my radar. So this is why I'm so excited to speak with you. So are they actually translated into language or are they in English? And
No, mostly are in English, but there are some Russians as well. And the the 50 Shade
yeah,
horrific trilogy, right? That was translated into so many languages, right? So if the I don't know her full name, it's R.L. Matthewson's, and she writes kind of funny fiction. But it's also, I would definitely say it's smart, because it's also explicitly described intimacy and everything, and bad language as well. So what happens in her book, she became very famous because she writes, if if the explicitity is erased, the humor is really nice. But what she does is, the humor is like 20% and 80% is like that.
yeah,
So you're exposed to it.
yeah.
I have four nephews who are in their teens. So there's this very famous TV series, you must have heard about it, The Money Heist. Okay, so
I don't
they
get out much.
the money is about robbing a bank and everything. So it was, I was reading the review, and it said that it uses Milton and meta languages pattern, and it really fascinates me because I'm an NLP practitioner. So I said, okay, I'll watch. My nephew, my 19-year-old nephew said, you do know it has explicit sex scenes, right? And I was like, why do you know that? If I don't know. So it's there. Yeah, every, like, it, you can say if there are like 10 hours of the series, there's at least 1 hour explicit sex scenes,
Wow.
and they are like divided in throughout the series.
Yeah.
So why do we don't know this? And Netflix is on the rampage.
Yes.
Anyone and everyone has an account and they can watch it. And not just Netflix. Okay, if I don't have Netflix, but I can watch, I can download torrents for free. Everything is available.
Yeah. Yeah.
So accessibility is very, very, you know, easy. And the girls, especially, the problem is boys usually more, majority of the boys watches visuals. Girls are not very visual creatures. They tend to incline towards the books. The trilogy that, Gray and, this 50 Shades, women read it more than the guys, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. So these kind of things, girls read more. So we have to seek it up, why these kind of books are available to young girls.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get them.
What about anime and that sort of stuff? Because I know a lot of young teen girls. That's where they start. They start off, with these. They think they're innocent cartoons, but they get very pornographic very quickly. Um, and there's another couple of genres
Hmm.
around the similar sorts of things. But are you
Hmm.
finding the same sort of things with girls in Pakistan?
Exactly. You know, problem is we don't even know. We just see anime, and our in our society it is not called anime. It's called cartoons. And in cartoons, what bad can be the cartoons, right? Like, n- the Batman I used to watch as a kid and the Batman today. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, the violence, just leave the explicitly out. The violence has increasingly, like, it's so gory now, right? And now there's a homosexual part in Batman. I mean, like, what what is happening right now? It was supposed to be a cartoon,
yeah.
but now no, there's a love triangle and a homosexual love triangle going on in the Batman family. I mean, seriously. Come on, what are you selling?
I
If
didn't
it
know
said
that.
that sex sell. So we are seeing this in, cartoons, in Beloved, and the anime is comes from the manga. And manga is like written version of anime, right? It's the comic version.
Yeah,
So they make the anime from there. So everything is like going there. There's a whole universe of things going on. I started reading about the comic cons, what happens. So, just the DC universe, the Superman is this, and then there's the another parallel universe in which a Superman is gay. Okay. And there's a whole anime, comics upon that line of, story. Those are available as well. And those kind of things are being animated as well. So you see, it's like, normalizing everything.
yes.
Okay, it's okay to have girlfriends. Like when we were young, it was like, Powerpuff Girls, or Tom and Jerry, or Pink Panther, even Transformers. That those were the kind of cartoons. And then the sexualization became, and Wonder Woman, the clothes started shrinking, and then the everything came with, okay, this is going to come, then the boyfriends have to be there. The school, I remember Hannah Montana. It was in the 90s. Okay, there, it was about this girl struggling, right? Why were there boys in it? Where was her identity? Even the girls, these kind of shows that shows that, oh no, I can be a powerful girl. They have to show the boyfriend material as well. No, you have to show this, the dating and the kissing and everything. Why? They don't show powerful women as without the guy. And if that aspect is, showed, it's showed in the light of, oh, she's a feminist. I
Yeah,
don't understand that. If a girl stands up and say, I have my principles, I have my core values, and I'm going to act upon it, I'm a strong person, she is labeled feminist. But if a girl is dolled up and she just wants attraction, being look good for the boy, and just wait for the boy to give you attention. She is a woman. What kind of ideas we are giving to our girls? There
Yeah.
was this our teacher, she said that there was this movie Grease. It tox Do you know the toxic idea in that movie? And we were like, it was a funny movie, right? She said, no. Did you see if you see that movie's idea, what was it? The guy was a super jerk at first to the girl, and then he tried to assault her, and then when she put her foot down and left him, and he became, oh yes, this shouldn't have happened, and then he came back and girl took him in.
Yeah. And changed her whole
Why?
look and everything. It's
Yeah,
it's the same as the Little Mermaid.
exactly.
Even young children's things, and we'll probably upset some people here, but she's prepared to give up her voice.
Yes,
What are we teaching young women?
exactly. And if a girl is sexually assaulted and a guy comes and says sorry, you should take him in. What kind of like ideas and what kind of girls we are raising?
Yeah. But it's done so subtly that people, unless they're looking at it, through that filter, they just think, oh, it's just a lovely little cartoon or a lovely, old fashioned movie or
Yeah.
something. But we need to start, asking these questions. And I think, everything that you've brought up is
Mm.
amazing. And, to hear, even though, our cultures are quite different, everything's the same.
Yeah.
So, can
See.
you tell me about when you're counseling the women that husbands are addicted to pornography?
Mm.
What are these women going through? What are they, um, because it must seem like it's a almost like he's having an affair or something like that. Is that the sort of insights you're getting from the women? Do they feel betrayed? And
It's
um,
more humiliating than having an actual affair,
right,
because they know, okay, that is a person, he is attracted to her. With porn, he is not attracted to the person. He talks about a a meaty object, right? And he sees the women, his wife, the mother of his children, as that as well. And she's like, how can I be that when he doesn't even respect that as well? Like, no man respects a porn star, right? No
no,
man respect that woman. But how can they want it? It's an internal conflict, right? So if you want your women like that, no, the man would say no, we don't. But we want that act. You cannot take the act and discard the person. So that hurts the women more. Okay, I'm not enough. The idea of not being enough for the man is so heartbreaking. And in our religion, and I think in every religion, every single divine religion in the world, at its core value, it's the sanctity of human dignity is being protected through marriages, through not intermingling, like casually and just using each other. No, the sanctity of human dignity is with the person, right? And the marriage respects, even more protect that. So when a wife sees her husband watching that filth, it breaks her heart that, okay, our love has gone this much, he wants me to be like that only. And if she even tries, he can't see her like that, because that, even that, the thing he's watching is fake.
yeah,
Everything is fake about it. And she's a human, and there's no connectivity, there's no love. Intimacy is being destroyed, and that thing flows into their relation as well. He doesn't respect her, she doesn't respect him, and she's afraid for the children. Oh, if he's watching this, what about my kids? And that really hurts the man. How can she say this even. How can she not trust me with my own children? I am just watching this. So these kind of things just destroys the marriage, and divorce rates are on the high. And even that, plus the sexual frustration, from both sides. Nobody is getting that intimate sanctity. In the Quran, Allah has told us that yes, I have given the man and the women as spouses sakina, tranquility when they are together. I will bestow tranquility. It's Allah's promise. But when you are into this kind of thing, tranquility doesn't come. Purity is destroyed because you're. It's like Servile gives us this amazing analogy, like baking a big batch of brownie and adding 1 tablespoon of poop in it. Who is going to eat that?
Interesting
So
analogy.
yeah, and it's very easy to like go off brownies like that when you think about it. You can easily put a person off.
Yeah,
But this is how our marriage's sanctity is destroyed. The man and the woman don't trust each other
yeah, yeah.
because heart is broken.
And I'm hearing from women that are working in refuges and things like that, that choking and swearing and
Mm,
spitting and all of these things that people are seeing in
mm,
hardcore gonzo porn is
mm.
now being you know in people's relationships. And you know people don't know how to say, "Oh, stop that, I don't, that's not on," sort of thing. And I
Yeah.
worry for our young people because when I'm working with young teenagers in schools,
Mm,
they tell me that they're watching it to learn technique or style or how to do
mm,
it or whatever.
mm.
And yet they're seeing that stuff. And we know 88% of pornography is violence against women. And there is
Yes.
no consent, there is no pleasure for women.
Mm,
Um, and so it's, for young people and even younger again, because I believe that we need to start having the conversation about, I don't
mm,
call it pornography with children under 12, I call them private pictures or private movies. But I believe that we need to start it by 6 because kids are seeing it on YouTube.
mm.
But also, kids, if they're seeing the men hurt the women, they're
Mm.
thinking that dad's hurting mum like that. And that keeps me awake at night.
And not just that, the females are learning, the young females, that this is how we are supposed to keep the man. This is how I am supposed to be loved. And the whole concept of being loved, the intimacy, the beauty of intimacy, the tranquility, everything is just like mutated into a big ball of I don't even know what to say. What is it? It's infectious. It should be like shot in the head kind of thing. It can't be cured because where is the women in it? The females who are watching it, the young females, they're thinking, as you said, that they're like learning the style. So they're looking, okay, this woman is done this, and the man was happy, so
Yeah,
I have to endure this to make my man happy. This is not the case, and the man is also learning, okay, this is how I'm going to take my pleasure, and this is how supposedly the women is getting pleasure, and that is also not the case. So the problem is there is no, you know if this is presented to them, what is the alternative? Who we say, okay, okay, this is not right, but do we present the right picture? This is the problem. We are lacking there. We have to present, okay, this is not right, this is, there was this movie I watched a couple like ages ago. It was the American president, and there was this dialogue. It was like mind blowing. Okay, if people are presented sand as water and are like given enough time and said it enough time that this is what they are going to accept and start drinking it, so they don't know better. So
yeah,
the person countered it with, they only have to see the real water once to know the falsehood. So we have to give the true picture to them. This is not it. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and we have to, like, all the cultures, all the religions, they have to like join hands and give that to our child, because our generations are getting destroyed. Because all this is going to lead in next 20 years. What you are seeing, I am seeing lonely boys and lonely girls. I am seeing them just being miserable in front of a screen. I am seeing them like totally depressed because of no human contact, because they don't know how, because their perception of things is totally wiped off.
Yeah.
The perception of love is totally destroyed, and they don't even know, they never knew love. What is love? And love starts with respect. If a boy cannot respect a girl, I was shocked. There was this, i- there was this really good book, Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah.
I was a very big nerd when I was growing up.
Join the club.
So but even that bothered me at that age as well. The boy used to like pull her pigtails and call her carrot head and everything, and this was supposed to show that the boy likes the girl,
Yeah.
and it was accepted. Who accepted this and who made this? And I was like, sure, why? If a boy is hurting, the boys should be taught, if you like someone, you cannot start by hurting them. You have to start by respecting them, showing your respect towards them.
Yeah.
So people start saying that, oh, we have to start with the boys. I say, start with children. There is no such thing as start with the boys or the girls. Start with children.
You are my sort of woman. Exactly. We have to start at 3 at the latest. We can teach 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds about
Yes,
consent. And we have
yes,
to start, it is all based on consent. And,
yes.
when
It,
I say consent here in Australia, people think sex.
mm,
Consent's got nothing to do, it's not just about sex. It's just,
mm,
I had to go into a school where a boy in grade 5, so he's probably 10, put
yeah.
put an eraser down his pants, rubbed it on his penis, and then rubbed it on a girl's face.
Oh
The
God.
principal said to the little girl,
Mm.
boys will be boys.
Oh
I
God.
lost it. I absolutely, you, that is not okay.
No, it's not.
It's victim blaming for her. It's
Hmm.
not making him accountable. And it just blows my mind.
Yeah, I always say it's not about boys and girls. It's about a human being a decent human,
Yes.
showing and accepting other humans as and respect. It's like, oh, you are a Muslim and you are not a Muslim, so start fighting. No, okay, I am a Muslim. I believe certain things. You are not a Muslim. Okay, fine, but you are a human. I accept you as a human. We have conflicts. We have contradiction. It's okay. We both are the creation of God, and we have to respect. Allah has put us on this earth, so be civil. Can't we do that? And we have to teach that to our children, that it's not okay to do that. Not even to the guys as well. The bullying starts with boys bullying boys, but girls bullying girls is more horrific than boys. Boys will like fight and get it over with. They physically hurt. Girls destroy girls.
Yes.
I went into a school at it was like the 11th grade, so they were like in their teens. I got bullied by them, and I was like, seriously, I'm in my 30s and you're bullying me. Come on. And they were so like, oh, seriously, so you do know this? And I was like, okay. I mean, the attitude of those girls was like, I felt like I should go now. It really unsettled me at that age, and I was like certified and everything, and I was like, I should go. So I was thinking, what about these girls who they are bullying? Oh my God, poor, like just I really felt miserable on their behalf.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
all of these things are like culminating, because Desires, sexual desires is a part of, coming of the age, right? And they don't know what to do. When alhamdulillah in Islam we say ke, there's a perception Islam suppresses every desire. Oh, there's no place of dating. No, Islam doesn't suppress desires. Islam disciplines your desire. There's a time and a place and a person that is your own. When that time comes, inshallah, that's when you're going to do this. Not with everyone, not to everyone. This is what our religion teaches, and it's beautiful. It ends exploitation. A boy has 5 different sexual partners, and then he's marrying one girl, and he wants that girl to be untouched and everything. Is that fair?
Mathematically, it can't happen.
Yeah. And the girl, and if the girl is like, okay, thinking about marrying someone, it's like, oh, you can't do that. You should be, this is again that victim blaming thing starts. You should know better. 5 guys are out there exploiting her. How can she fight back? Those 5 guys should be taught not to exploit girls. You're exploiting someone's future wife, someone's future mother, someone's right now sister, someone's daughter. Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
Under the banner of boys will be boys.
yeah. I just want to check in with you about educating parents because for me,
Hmm.
I run parent workshops all the time, and getting parents through the door is
Hmm.
near on impossible. And if I had $1 for every parent that said to me, my child would never look at pornography, I would be a very,
Millionaire.
I would be a very rich lady. They don't realize that they don't even need to go looking for it; it will find them. But do you
Yes.
do you run workshops for parents around cyber safety and pornography and things like that?
Yes. And as you said, I would be definitely a millionaire. Oh, my child is
High
not
five.
like that. My child is not like that. He can never do that, or she can never do that. And then I said, I'm not saying they are watching, I'm saying they are being exposed to it. And they're like, no, I know they can't do it. And I was like, please, come on.
My
It,
child would tell me if I
yeah.
had $1 for that every time I heard that one.
And okay, I asked this once from a mother. Okay, if your child comes to you right now, gives you a SD card full of porn and said, I watched it, what would we do? What would you do? Answer quickly. She was like, of course I would beat him. Yeah, that's why he's never going to come to you. That's why the child children is not going to come to you. You see, this is our, like, the equation is like, okay, you should come to us, and when you come to us, I'm going to beat you. So, and this is how we are going to resolve this issue, and you're not going to do this again. And that's amazing.
And to be honest, I know you shared Smith's interview, and I just cannot rave enough about it. I hope people go back and if they haven't seen it, watch it because it's been seen about 14,000 times, but still, everybody needs to see
Yeah,
it.
it was amazing. It was really amazing.
But what I loved about what he said
Hmm.
was, as a child,
Hmm.
parents, we need connections with you. The kids want to come to their parents, but if their parents are going to say, I'm going to beat you, then they're not going to go to them. And, he spoke so openly about how at 12 he was addicted and withdrew from his family and withdrew from his friends and was depressed and all of that stuff. So, parents do the best job they know how, but sometimes they're not, you know, walking their talk basically. They say, come to me, and then I'm going to beat you. So, I think that was the big take home from me from his amazing talk. And I really am so grateful that you shared it with your people.
It
Um,
really touched me, alhamdulillah. It was great. It was just, you know, the problem is the parents see the children in their perspective, how they were as a kid. They're not seeing the kids themselves from the kids' perspective, how they are from their perspective. When we were kids growing up, we didn't have resources. We had a telephone, we didn't have internet. We didn't have Wi-Fi. We had that modem, dialing. It didn't connect,
I'm a
right?
lot older.
So, and we used to sit like, okay, please come on, connect, please connect. I used to just sit like that and connect. And it would take like 1 hour. My mother would give me 1 hour of internet, and it would take 1 hour to connect. And my mother would be like, okay, your hour is up. And I was like, it just started. Like, you can see 10 minutes. It started 10 minutes ago. Now these children I have Wi-Fi. These children have 5G. Okay, like this, scroll and everything. We used to download a JPEG in like 10 minutes. They can download 1 GB in 2 minutes.
Mm, yeah,
So and it's free. The thing that boggles my mind is everything is free for them. The
yeah.
information out there is so overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me when I go to a book's website. It's like, oh, this look good, I should download it all, and I can't read anything, and it overwhelms me, right? Now think about a child. So much out there, and so much, some things are making him feel weird, some things are unsettling, and he can't reach out to anyone that why this is unsettling me and why I'm feeling unsettled. Because if he reached out, okay, I saw this and it really unsettled me. Oh, why the hell did you watch this in the first place? How dare you watch this in the first place? No, if you have watched it, okay. Now, Alhamdulillah, I belong from a very religious family. I remember in 1999, I was watching a live Pride parade from New York. And at that time, it was, New York was the first, they legalized gay marriages. And I was watching all that. I was a teenager. And my mom came out, what are you watching? And I told her, see, they don't have the right to kill them. Whatever they are doing, they don't have the right to kill them. And I was talking to my mom. And as a Muslim, we have very strong issues with the act of homosexuality, the act, not the people.
Mm.
So my mom didn't like, hit me on the head and, took the cable out of the house. And no, she just said, okay, fine, and left me alone. And then later that day, she sat me down and said, okay, you watched that and you're right. Nobody has the right to kill anyone. Nobody. But this is what we believe. These are our core values. And for you to watch that, it first you have to study your core values to the core. Why are there? And then you can see what their perspective is, and you can support them until the fact that those their value doesn't contradict with your core values. That was it. My mom just said that, and it was done. And this is how you're supposed to communicate.
Yes.
We have assumptions of the terminology. Just say the term pornography. Oh my god. The parents I reach out to, I said, okay, we are going to talk about pornography, as if, astaghfirullah, they would think that I am showing them those videos. Then think about what I'm saying. Addiction is what, even binge watching, even seeing those kind of things, even watching anime. There was my own nephew brought home a borrowed DVD of an anime series from his friend. And that was the first time in 2012 I read this label called, it was written yaoi, yaoi. I didn't understand what it is. So I googled it, and it meant, if the label said this, it means that it is homosexual content.
Oh,
How many people know this?
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And he said no, and I said, this is not good. And no, it's just the story of, and it was a police and thief story, and the boys watches that, cars getting blown up, firing and everything, and it was like that. But the side story was the two cops, they were a couple. And I asked, where did they buy this DVD? And I went to the shop and I asked them, do you know what this means? And he said, no, it's just cartoon. So it's just cartoon is, and then we did a social experiment, me and my friends. We sent our 13-year-old niece in 2013 to go and buy 50 Shades. And you're seeing a 13-year, would you give them? Only three bookshops said no. Only three. Can you believe that? And the rest of them, okay, if you buy three, we are going to give you a discount. I was like, seriously, come on.
Oh my goodness. Yes, well, we've got a lot of work to do. I'm so
Yes.
glad that we've met up, and I'm really keen to swap ideas and hear more about what you're doing. So,
Yes.
are there any last minute, because on my Facebook page I have a lot of parents, is there any last minute advice you'd like to give to parents before we say goodbye?
Well, the first thing you have to is connect and give them the safe space. Give them the safe space and give them the space that, okay, if you don't even know the term, what the term is, just walk out. Not don't react instantly. If you saw them watching something, or if they asked you a question that is really really unsettling, just stop at that. Okay, I'm going to talk to you in a little while. Calm yourself down, google the things, what it is not, and then set your child down and then communicate. Don't react. You react once, and that is it. They are never going to come back to you, never ever. Because as teenagers say, I don't need this in my life. So they really don't need this in their life. So but you have to be there, whether they know they need you or they don't know they need you. You have to be there in their life. So don't close their doors. And I'm really really thankful to you for reaching out, and it was amazing learning from you, and you have given me so many ideas. Thank you so much.
Well, we'll keep talking. Thank
Definitely.
you again, and I really appreciate you giving up your time. See you then.
Uh-huh. Okay.